New location unlocked. What is up, you D-gens, suit chasers, and anyone still pretending to understand Powell's poker face? Welcome back to your favorite end of the day market roast. I'm your flow whisperer, and today's tape was juicier than a zero date to expiration lotto. Trump screamed, buy stock now, like your uncle at Thanksgiving, and Powell said a whole lot of, well, nothing. And big money's mad. Some eyebrow raising moves. Well, not they're mad, but they made some eyebrow raising moves. So let's go ahead, crack open a beer so we can crack open these markets. So first things first, let's talk about our market snapshot. The S&P 500 ended today with a 0.58% gain. The Dow Jones ended with a 0.62% gain, and the Nasdaq led everybody with a 1.07% gain. Notably, too, Bitcoin was up 5.25%, crossing 101K, with gold down 2.3%, falling to 2,300, as that risk appetite is coming back into light for investors. Now, what exactly happened? Because Trump opened his mouth and the market levitated off of that. And I quote, you better go out and buy stock now. That's what Trump said after announcing a UK trade deal and teasing China talks. Somewhere, Jerome Powell was just absolutely face palming. Also, Powell held rates steady yesterday, took no questions today, and Trump called him a fool. Again, just another day in the empire, folks. But before we hop into that, let's head over to Investor Central Club, where we are still running that amazing deal where if you use the code 125, you can get your first month of Investor Central Club for only $25. Now let's go ahead and talk about what we saw in the markets today. NVIDIA, we saw 89 million in flow with 80 million hitting calls. It looks like that AI chip ban rollback equals party time for AI chips. Tesla, we saw 51 million in flow. That was mostly bullish with 44 million going into calls. Tariffs, what tariffs? It's like they never happened. SPY, we saw 49 million in flow with 19 million in calls against 29 million in puts. It was a mixed bag today, to be honest. Is this some hedging into volatility we're seeing? Maybe. We also had app come up heavy with 13 million in flow. No, app didn't have that. Hold on. We're looking at Microsoft. We had Microsoft with 33 million in flow with 32 million in calls. So basically all that money in calls. And Mr. MSTR, we also saw some action there with 7.33 million inflows, with pretty much all of that money going into calls as well. And again, Bitcoin cracked that 102K. Now, let's talk about some of our big buys from today as well. So on our big buy side, we saw TSM with a $200 call for August, a $28 million block trade. Microsoft, we saw $480 calls for December. 5 million plus was dropped on those. We also saw some action with NVIDIA. $115 call was repeatedly hit like a pinata today. It was not safe. And some put flow warning we saw. We saw SPY with the 505P for June, 6.6 million thrown in, and QQQ a 420 put for June, 3.6 million. The translation here is institutions are playing both sides, like a Tinder date with options expiring on Friday. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of our dark pool drama because it was anything short of boring. So let's go ahead and format this first by total cost. So big boy first, GLD saw a $281 million print. Yeah, it was not a typo, by the way. SPY came in with a close second of $227 million coming in, 400,000 at the 569 level. That was a midday block as well. QQQ at 166 million, just lurking in the background like a little creeper. And we also had HD, IVV, and MTUM with all over $140 million blocks. Now, what we're seeing here is smart money repositioning, probably before Powell speaks in full sentences again, or Trump signs a napkin and calls it a treaty. Now, some of our most bullish moves of the day were the run $9 calls. We saw full sweep with low open interest, so this is equal and means new positioning most likely. And Palantir is also recovering after earnings beat down with call flow coming back. Some bearish signals we saw here with ARKK, $44 puts for June. We also saw CRUS with $85 puts for December as a block. And HYG continues seeing put flow. Credit market is absolutely just sweating bullets at this point. Fun fact, 9 of the 20 names today had higher put volume than call. Everyone hedging or just preparing for the next Trump tweet. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some headlines that moved our markets for today. So first things first, we had Trump. The UK trade deal is signed. China talks are coming next, and this country is going straight up like a rocket ship. That is literally something he said. Insane. Gold is down 2% because peace equals boring. Bitcoin back above 102K as mentioned on Trump China optimism, and Coinbase buying Deribit. So that's interesting as well. We also had Carvana with a 10% push after a strong Q1. Tariffs might actually help used car dealers. Who knew? And Powell, oh yeah, he said wait and see and vanished. What else were we expecting there? Now, NVIDIA and TSM equals massive AI exposure, which is going to equal massive options appetite. We saw flow on QQQ, and SPY shows real hedging before CPI and FOMC minutes next week. Dark pool signals equals someone is stacking risk on plays, but there is also some serious hedging going underneath. We also have Powell is on mute right now, and Trump is on absolute max volume, and it looks like Trump is winning that roar. Now, traders are betting both ways as well, and this isn't a conviction rally, it's a positioning game at this point. So that's the wrap for today, May 8th. Again, this is going to be a little bit shorter. Again, new location, a day full of noise, hope, and billion-dollar bets. Pro tip here, don't chase every green candle. Watch the flow. If institutions are hedging, you probably should be too. Like this, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. Drop your biggest trade in the comments, and subscribe for daily breakdowns, flow, sarcasm, and of course, alpha. Until next time, trade savage, follow the flow, and maybe, just maybe, listen to Powell less and watch that Trump tweet and Trump Twitter account a little more. Peace out. See you in the next one.